Guys, I am deep in the Abel Tasman National Park here on the South Island of New Zealand to tackle one of the most frequently asked questions that I get on my channel. How do I find these beautiful hidden spots? And in this video series, I'm going to dive deep into giving you all the tricks and info and little tidbits that I can give to you so that you can find your own beautiful hidden spots. So first up today, we're doing the looky-loo, or the bull in the china shop, I like to call it, where I get an inkling of a beautiful spot. A little taste of it, and I dive head first. Just push it as far as I can to see what hidden secrets lie up there. And the important thing about this method is it's all about mentality. And when I say that, I mean it's important to remember the adventure is in the journey, not the destination, because oftentimes we don't know what we'll find. So it's very important to remember that wherever you go, there you are. So remember to be happy. Enjoy the adventure with every step, with every leaf, with every water droplet, with every moss and fern. Take in that beauty, internalize it, realize where you are is a beautiful spot. So it doesn't matter if we make it to a cliff jumping spot, a waterfall, whatever we may or may not find, because wherever we are, it is beautiful. And so this first method, the bull in the china shop, or the looky-loo, basically incorporates the mentality that in order to find beautiful spots, you have to go look for them. So this is what we're diving into today. There's a small little use trail that comes along this creek, and I caught a glimpse of it the other day. But today, we're going head first like a bull in a china shop to plow through what could be some epic, beautiful hidden gems. But you never know until you go look. So what made me want to explore this creek? Well, it's got three things that I look for when looking for beautiful hidden natural places. We've got water, moss, and ferns. And the fourth really key element that I've talked about before, a slight change in elevation. So that could lead to some epic hidden waterfalls. So an important thing to remember when you're doing something like this is what is your turnaround time, and that's going to be based on what time sunset is, and you're going to divide that in half. So we know sunset's at 6 o'clock today. It's 11:30, so we have 6.5 hours until dark, so we're going to turn around at half of that. So at 2:45 we're going to be turning around. If we make it that far, we're going to be turning around so we're not hiking out of this creek in the dark, which, for those of you who have followed the channel for a long time, you know I made a few mistakes where I ended up climbing out at midnight because I didn't mind my turnaround time. You can see it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, because we've already found some tremendously beautiful hidden spots and we're just getting started. So one of the keys to finding hidden spots, and this may be obvious to some of you, but you have to be willing to go where other people don't go and are not willing to go, which means you have to be willing to get wet, cold, dirty, and all up in that crack. So as I've said before, proper footwear is essential. Anything with stealth rubber soles, absolutely imperative if you're going to be doing something like this. I prefer the Adidas Terrex Voyager. They're my #1 water shoe for adventure, but whatever you can find with stealth rubber, that's what you want to wear for this type of adventure. Another key for this type of adventure, always be learning. What types of flora and fauna are in the area? Are there poisonous snakes? Are there poisonous plants? Do I need to keep eyes out for rattlesnakes, poison oak, poison ivy? What about spiders? always be learning about your environment. Are there edible plants? If I need to survive out here for a night, what are the foods that I can eat? What should I avoid? What's going to give me a rash? Very important, always be learning to make the most out of your adventure. So in that vein, what can we eat? Well, luckily or unluckily, we have a ton of invasive gorse around here. So these prickly bushes and these bright yellow flowers are edible. In super large quantities, they have alkaloids that can be harmful, but we're talking about surviving on them for weeks and months and vast amount of quantities. It's just for a couple weeks, few days, gorse flowers, survival snack. And they are invasive, so really, you'll find them everywhere in New Zealand. A good thing and a bad thing. So we found our first hidden swimming hole of the day. Definitely deep enough to be considered a swimming hole. I'm not sure I'm gonna jump in yet. I'm gonna keep pushing on, see what else we can find. But possibly on the way back, I'm gonna have to take a quick dip in that beautiful hidden swimming hole. And right on top of that one, another awesome swimming hole. Right on top of it. That's two hidden swimming holes, few small cascades, and we are just getting warmed up, guys. This is how you find beautiful hidden spots. The bull in the china shop method, or the looky-loo. So since we are in New Zealand, on the topic of learning about the flora and fauna of the area, it's important to know they have a real problem with an invasive algae called didymo here. It's a thick, brown, sludgy-like substance that can be transferred from creek to creek. So when you're going in between waterways here in New Zealand, in canyons and creeks, you always have to make sure that your shoes and footwear are thoroughly dried and cleaned in a detergent solution before you go to the next waterway. So that way you don't unknowingly transport this invasive algae that can destroy the beauty of creeks like this. So we reached this big swimming hole and this big drop here. And I think that's the end of today. We're gonna have to come back for part 2. So make sure you check out part 2 on this series, how to find beautiful hidden spots, where we go beyond this. And I have a sneaking suspicion there's even more epic, beautiful stuff up there.
Infamous.